14.2% in one day. So Ulta Beauty, one of the most recognized retail brands in America, just lost 14% of its value in a single trading session. Over $80 per share gone, poof, just like that. We are already in one of the most brutal market environments of 2026. Oil is up 35% in a single week. This is the biggest weekly gain in history of oil futures trading. Since 1983, we have not seen that. Jobs have come in negative 92,000. The VIX is sitting right under 30, and the Dow went negative for the entire year. And now, one of the most watched consumer names in the market just collapsed 14%. So we have retail traders panicking, institutional desks are repositioning themselves. Everyone is asking the same question. Is this a buy or is this a falling knife? I'm here to give you guys the real answer in this video, and not the generic buy the dip, wait for the confirmation answer everyone else is giving you. And the answer that I'm going to give you guys tells you exactly what to do. I'm going to tell you guys the strike you should be targeting, the timing that I believe this could happen in, the sizing to use, and this is the exact system that I've used for the past couple years. And while all this chaos is happening, oil at $100 a barrel, VIX at 30, jobs collapsing, Ulta crashing, our community had one of the best months of the year, and we're only halfway through. So just in my main portfolio here, I've been able to generate $4,609 in the past 16 days. And it's not because we predicted any of this, and it's not because we got lucky, and it's not because we had some secret information nobody else has, but it's because we're on the right side of fear. So in February and early March, we saw one of the worst market environments of the year. But first, before we talk about that, let me show you the infrastructure behind these results, because this is where it gets really interesting. This is the Ahmad Capital Discord. This is where every single trade I take gets posted in real time. The second I hit confirm on an order, it is in there for you guys. You get the strike, the expiration, the premium, the full thesis. Everything is going to be right here in the wheel trades category, or the 10K account challenge, or in our leap trade category. But trades are just the beginning. Every single morning before the market opens, this channel right here, Market Brief, is going to give you guys a full market brief on futures prices, oil prices, our watch list prices, an economic calendar, and everything that you guys need to know before the market opens. Automated 100% for all of you guys every single morning. And then we have the risk radar. So this channel right here combines the VIX and the put call ratio, and it gives you guys a score. It tells you how much cash you should be holding for that day. As option sellers, we always need to have dry powder. So again, as I mentioned, we are still migrating from WAP to Discord, so I have not added any of my members in here quite yet. However, they will be coming in here in the next 10 days. We have a whale tracker that tracks unusual activity in the markets. All you guys have to do is go to Ahmad Capital website. And right now, the price is $199 for all those tools that I just showed you guys. And that is a lifetime membership, not a monthly fee, not a yearly fee, but a lifetime membership for $199. And as soon as the 10 days are up and we are fully migrated in Discord, that price is jumping to $399. All right, Ulta, let's get into it. Here's the problem with how most people are approaching this. Everyone is asking, is Ulta a buy? That is the wrong question. A stock that drops 14% in one day can still drop another 20% from there. I've seen it happen time and time again. Ask anybody who bought that first bounce on Netflix or United Healthcare. Those were two solid companies. Or ask anyone who caught Meta on the way down before it eventually bottomed. And buying a falling knife because the percentages look big is not a strategy, guys. It's a feeling. And we do not trade feelings here at Ahmad Capital. Here is the right question to be asking. At what price would I genuinely be comfortable owning Ulta for the next 12 months potentially? Not chase a bounce and not gamble on a reversal. So by identifying the price where the business makes sense and then waiting for the market to come down to that price, well, that changes everything. Now you are in control and you're not reacting. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Ulta chart. So we see here, price has dropped 25% from the all-time highs at $716. And we have absolutely broken through this support at 570. So our next level of support is going to be 495. This right here is realistically not a good place to buy, especially after this gap down. So if you guys wanted to jump the gun and you're thinking this could be a strong support, I'm going to tell you right now that the odds of this thing falling to 499 or 500 is very likely. So I personally would hold off on buying right here. So when a stock drops this much, this fast, and still has not found a bottom, well, there is still institutional repositioning happening. You have to understand in the background, this is happening. There are still stop losses being triggered. There's still panic selling working through the tape. We watch, we wait, and just let the dust settle. We don't want to be caught up in that. Typically, after a move this violent, we want to see 3 to 5 sessions of stabilization. Volume drying up. That means things have calmed down. People aren't selling as much. Price finding a base, which I think is going to be 500. Once we see that happening, here is going to be the setup. So if keyword, if we can find stabilization at this zone, 425 to 535, well, I want to see multiple candles prints right here, and I want to see a couple bullish candles prints right here. We have to be able to find a base. Now, let's say we do find that. What kind of trade would I look to open? Well, I want to play it safe. So I would theoretically want to be 10 to 20% below that price. So 10% would get us at 482. Down here is where I would personally open up a cash secured put, which basically means I'm willing to buy 100 shares at this price. I would definitely not buy a leap here. However, if price were to get down to 500, I could potentially entertain a leap. Now, what kind of money could you expect by opening up a cash secured put at that level? Well, let's find out. So we're just going to go ahead and search Ulta, and then we're going to go sell to open put. Expiration date, let's just go 1 month out, so April 17th. We're going to look for that 480. Let's see what that's paying, or 485. So let's just say 485. Let's just say 735 divided by 485 is going to give us a 1.5% return in about 30 days. So not the hottest premium, but at the end of the day, this is a very safe strike, and it's a very solid company at the end of the day. So now that you have an idea of where I would look to potentially open a cash secured put on this stock, let's go ahead and look at why it is dropping. So they had earnings on March 12th, and believe it or not, revenue was beat by 2% almost. EPS didn't miss and didn't get beat. However, we saw a minus 4% before earnings and then a minus 14.24% after earnings. Absolutely crazy. So you might ask yourself, why? Well, what happened? I have read the entire Ulta report for you guys. That way you don't have to go through all this and read it, okay? So Q4, believe it or not, was genuinely strong. They beat revenue by 85 million. Comparable sales were actually up 5.8%. Fragrance and hair care both growing double digits. They gained market share in both mass and prestige beauty at the same time. Their loyalty program hit 46.7 million members, which was up 5%. Their e-commerce is growing. Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty just launched as an exclusive and came out strong, a real catalyst for the makeup category, which generated 1.5 billion in operating cash and returning 1 billion to shareholders through buybacks. By the way, so on the surface, healthy business, strong quarter. So why did it collapse so much? Well, their guidance was an absolute disaster. Here's what they told investors about 2026. So comparable sales, yes, they grew 2.5% to 3.5%. Market wanted 4 to 5%. You know, a little greedy. Wall Street's being a little greedy, which was a significant miss. Operating margins were flat. So after 2 full years of heavy investing spending, there was nothing to show for it. But here's a number that tells you guys the true story. So their operating costs were up 23% in quarter 4. Sales were only up 11.8%. So They're spending twice as fast as they're growing. So basically, after 2 full years of them promising that these investments would pay off, margins are flat and their growth is declining, and they are getting worse returns and more spending. And their management even specified on the call it is a more competitive environment now. But again, this is not to scare you guys. This is not a broken business, but it was priced for 15% growth and it only delivered 9 to 11 with flat margins. That valuation gap is exactly what the market repriced last week. And here's the math that tells you where it actually gets cheap. So current price, $5.35. Forward EPS guidance is 28.05 to 28.55. That's roughly 19 to 20 times forward earnings. A company growing 9 to 11% with flat margins deserves about a 15 to 16 times earnings, not 20. At a fair multiple, I think the stock is worth 420 to 460. Don't attack me now. I mean, that means we could potentially see another 13 to 20% drop. Is that likely to happen? No, I just think that's where the stock would be a great buy. Now, could we see it drop to 450? Absolutely. If this thing gets enough selling pressure from here and breaks through this support and then this support, we could absolutely see this thing fall to 450. Just keep that in the back of your mind when you open up a new position. We've seen it happen with Netflix, like I mentioned. We've seen it happen with United Health. It is a possibility. If you guys want my exact entries and exits, again, price is only $199, and this offer expires in 9 days. After that, price is going to $399. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's just too much value in this Discord, even at the $400 price. So I'll see you guys on the inside.